God, love, God. Like it's one of the two pretty much to everything. And do you remember that moment?
I remember that moment. I think I shared that I said it was my experience or our experience, that it was the currency of love, that there really wasn't a negotiation. I wanted you supported, you wanted me supported, we all wanted each other supported. And it extends beyond that. It's, my mama and daddy, your mama, there's like family all of a sudden really grew. There was Tone's family, your family, my family, and all these humans coming together in the name of bringing this little one into existence. That was extraordinary to me. Mm-hmm. And then, for any of you who have been out there and, have miscarried and lost a child, it was over a 20-year journey, and it was painful, and it was beautiful, and it was, I never imagined being here today, certainly at a much later stage of life, never my wildest. And so to have that come to fruition in such a holistic, I'm thinking of holistic, bless you, that it is and continues to be one of the most beautiful experiences of my life. And if I thought it should have looked this way, or love should have looked this way or that way, or the family was, just this, I would have robbed myself from this experience. This merger of hearts, it's so humbling, it's so beautiful. Billy Beck, who was just here, he's the godfather of our daughter. A very dear sister and friend who's the godmother and
who lives in Israel.
And I
even though she was born in China.
Yes.
See the tentacles that love can branch out to.
Mm-hmm. And love sees no color. Love sees no religion. Love sees no race. Love sees no age. Love simply loves. And that is, love transcends all the illusions or delusions of what mind tells us about what a relationship or our life is going to be. And if you're simply open and receptive enough to be amazed and surprised, and if you can extend possibly that 2 or 3%, whatever you said on your, when you're swiping this way or you're on an app and looking for this person to look a certain way, if you have that thought, we can miss. You never imagined that your family or that life would look this way, that you'd be, you know what I mean? I never imagined this, never in my wildest freaking dreams. And I'm humbled by it. I'm moved by it. I'm inspired by it. I'm stretched by it. I'm schooled by it. It's quite a path. Mm-hmm. And love does that.
Mm-hmm. I wish that people could, if you're watching this now, pull the scroll bar back and listen to what she just said again, because it's not, and Tone always says a relationship and love is this place that you go to give and not a place that you go to get. So if you have this expectation that this partner of yours is just going to meet your every need, just be open to it looking so differently than you thought. Not just the partner that the whole constellation, I call it, because this is even, there's so many pieces of this that I'm just even when I see friends that I haven't seen in years, and I'm like, I know you're not going to believe this, but this is what I'm doing these days. People are like, wait, what now? And I just think if you are willing to open your heart and say, I want to grow and I want to learn and I want to be stretched and I want to see what life might be out there, show me something. Isn't that what love, isn't that the fun? When you think about, if you've had any experience of the excitement and the newness, you can have that if you take your filters off and say, I'm open to anything. I really am.
Yes.
And
the newness can be, my mom and dad were here a couple months ago, and my mom and I had a moment. We were sitting at the table and our daughter was sitting next to us, and she took my hand, and I can just feel my mom patting my hand, and just that touch, that moment, lingers with me. Love sits with somebody who's transitioning from this world. That's love. Love, from birth to death, love extends. And, we do it really well as human beings. Well, not all of us, but a lot of times when children are young, there's that there's not a lot of expectation. You can't expect much from a child. They're going to be, you know what I mean? They're going to do what they do. But, to be able to see with the lens of that willingness of purity and innocence, to know that no matter what the behavior, just like you, there's an innocence inside of me. There's an innocence inside of you, no matter what the behavior. And I think that is a powerful understanding to remember. And that is where we all meet. Mm-hmm. And so how can I point the finger at another? I need to point the finger back at myself, because whatever I think you should or shouldn't be doing, somewhere in the line, we've all been unconscious. We've all missed. We've all been harsh. We've all been unkind. We've all yelled. We've all probably thrown something or smashed something, We've all, as in this human experience, there's this weird dynamic of, oh, he's so this or she's so that, or can you believe this? And it's like, yeah, I can believe it. In this human experience, I can believe anything.
If you've never walked into an Apple store with your phone in 1,000 pieces, have you ever really been in love? Just me? Can't be. It's true. But you even said, we're good at it or we're not.
Good at what?
At love, or I said that we're wired for it, but we don't necessarily know how to do it. And you talk about there are skills to it. It is muscle, and it is something that what do you think?
I don't know if it's a skill.
Tell me, you don't think it's a skill?
I think it's more of an art. I think it's more of a recognition of an allowance of a state of being. I think it's more of an offering. And that's not to say that there's not very useful tools and strategies and insights that helps us navigate one's own self, never mind another. So there's not to say, but I don't know that that's the skill for love. I think that's the skill for managing the human.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Right,
I think different than love.
Okay, you're right.
I don't know if that, I did.
No,
does
you're
that,
right.
Does
I
that
don't
land?
think love is a skill. You're exactly right. Mm-hmm. I do not think love is a skill, but I think sustaining it and nurturing it, especially a relationship with human beings, that's something that
to navigate
takes practice.
Ourselves and another. We could use some skills.
Mm-hmm. So just in an effort to provide some practical little takeaways, we often this book is by Dr. Julia Caldwell, a friend of ours, who we found. She lives in Colorado, and she wrote a book called The Relationship Skills Workbook. And Tony's taught a few things at different programs, the relationship program, at Date with Destiny, but really simple ideas. He teaches this process called SO, sensation, emotion, and what you want. So just how to communicate with